enjoyed that ice hockey match. Great minds think alike. I did too. My favorite team won, and I am especially pleased about that. Whoa, that's so funny. My favorite team also won. But you know what made it even better? I think I know where you're going with this. The fact that we had fun. I knew it, absolutely. I mean, it certainly has nothing to do with Randy Carlyle being the coach of the Ducks. Of course not. We're a little bit too classy for that. Way too classy. I have way too much sportsmanship. You're practically the captain of the good ship Sportsman. I would never take part in such hideous schadenfreude. I don't know what that means, and I don't know how to spell it, so I can't even Google it. It's German for the Leafs win. Hi! Victory, puppy! Land the I have no idea what I'm doing. God, to the riches of the Leafs! This team is ruining my life! Victory, puppies, boys, want a treat? Oh, good one, puppies, good one. Ooh, the Ducks are toast. They look toast. Oh, Leafs win! 6-1 over the Anaheim Ducks. Ducks fans, if I were you, I'd be screaming the title of my new book. I'll get to that later, that's rude. Ducks fans, how weird is this? Because here's the thing, I don't want to say that we relate too much. I mean, your team won the cup in 2007. However, you actually have more experience calling for Randy Carlyle to be fired. Honestly, at this point, you can't be mad at Randy. Well, I mean, you certainly can, but you shouldn't be maddest at him. Carlyle is what he is. The Ducks knew what he was when they hired him, and they got him. Sorry, after they rehired him when they didn't even want to get rid of him the first time. For those of you who don't remember, here's Anaheim Ducks GM Bob Murray a month ago, less than a month ago. While it's not my preference to make comments on this topic during the season, our recent play has led to many questions. Our fans are frustrated, rightfully so, and deserve a response from me. At this time, I am not considering a coaching change. I am more focused on our players, specifically who is going to step up in this situation. The way we played tonight was a step in the right direction, but we need much, much more. We have higher expectations for this group, and they should expect more from themselves. Now, in fairness to Bob Murray, whomst among us has not screamed at their hockey team to just try harder? But, generally speaking, when teams are like, we need to try harder, they stink. Ducks fans, I would take solace in this one thing, because I'm sure what's stuck in your mind and most minds is I am not considering a coaching change. What I noticed is that sentence began with at this time. That's the kiss of death. You ever had your significant other go, at this time, I am not considering breaking up with you? Then why'd you say it? Well, because I'm not considering breaking up with you. Which is great, but why'd you preface it with at this time? What'd be most frustrating for me as a Ducks fan, which is what was most frustrating for me as a Leafs fan, is the writings on the wall. Just do it! Well, alright, if you fire him, then who do you replace him with? Who cares? Well, if we fire our head coach without a plan, we're gonna, what, lose hockey games? Play badly, rely on goaltending, get outshot every single night? And maybe as a Ducks fan, you can appreciate that Bob Murray's making all these moves, although they don't seem to be that popular. But he can make all the moves he wants, it's not gonna do anything unless there's a coaching change. The Anaheim Ducks' current situation reminds me a bit of myself. I can do all the sit-ups that I want, but I really like chocolate, and the unfortunate reality is the saying is, abs are made in the kitchen. And right now, the Anaheim Ducks fridge is full of ingredients that expired 12 years ago. But we can't fire Randy Carlyle now, we're so close to a playoff spot. Coming from a Leafs fan, yes you can. Get it over with. This is why so many people don't take hockey executives seriously. Just hire and rehire the same group of people. Listen, I'm not saying the Chicago Blackhawks should have fired Joel Quenneville, but at least when they did, they tried something different and went with a guy in his early 30s. And it started real rough, and now look at them. The Leafs fired Carlyle, put in Peter Horacek, and went on one of the worst runs in franchise history. But at least they tried, and because they cut bait, they were able to start the rebuild. Stop wasting your fan base's time and do the thing. That's how I would feel if I were you. Trust me, I know from experience. Now, as for the game and the Leafs, yeah! They're good again! Rename the Jack Adams after Mike Babcock! Take all the money you were gonna get Matthews and Marner and give it to Andreas Janssen! William Nylander, Art Ross! Freddie Gauthier Selke! I'll work on that one. And Jake Muzzin is a Leaf. Did you know? I want to start with a question because I think it pertains to the game very well. Was Toronto that good or Anaheim that bad? The correct answer is yes. The Leafs look very good. I'll get in depth on that in a second, obviously, when I talk about the game because it went very well. But let me ask you a question, honest question for the Ducks fans watching and the Leafs fans watching. Which team would you rather have right now? The Anaheim Ducks or the Detroit Red Wings? Currently, the Ducks have 51 points in the standings, the Red Wings 49, so really they're one win behind. And actually, they have the same amount of wins with 21. Anaheim just has more overtime and shootout losses. Detroit's goal differential, so goals for versus goal against, is minus 24, which is one of the worst in the league. It's not very good. Anaheim's is minus 44. It is the worst in the league by far. Ottawa is negative 35. LA is negative 37. The Ducks are negative 44. And I'm sure it doesn't help that over the past 2 games, the Ducks are negative 11. Ducks outscored 15-4 over their past 2 games. That is a real stat that exists. Maybe it's just because I cheer for the Leafs and the Red Wings always give the Leafs fits, but those games are competitive. And whether the Wings win or lose, you definitely see their deficiencies and what they lack. It's chaotic, very sloppy, but damn, they try really hard and they're fast and they have some skill. The Ducks looked like they were out of it when the game was still tied 0-0. They were playing a style that I remember so well, and it almost worked like it used to. The Leafs, who never start a game on time, are out shooting the Ducks right away, and what they do is they lurk in the reads and they wait for you to make a mistake so they can get an odd man rush every 5 minutes or so, and it works sometimes. Freddie only had to make 25 saves in a game where the Leafs were winning basically the entire time, but he did have to be sharp on a bunch of them. But at the end of the day, the style is what I remember most about the Leafs of about 5 years ago. Get outplayed, let the other team dictate the play, and hope for the best. The Leafs, who sometimes play down to their opponents, weren't having it tonight. Leafs outshoot the Ducks 13-8 in the first period. I'd love to know what the scoring chances were. Kapanen almost got one. Gauthier! Honestly, I think that was Freddie Gauthier's best NHL game of his career. Connor Brown led all Leafs in shots with 5. Freddie Gauthier and Andreas Johnsson were tied for second with 4, but Goat didn't get any power play time. The only Leaf on the ice to not get a shot in this game, Mitch Marner. Literally, what? So the Leafs were sniffing, they were getting robbed, they came up with nothing in the first period, but they didn't get down on themselves. And sure enough, it's a weird yet simple play that brought them success in the second. Freddie Gauthier with a short little pass to Andreas Johnsson in his own zone. Johnsson, the winger, stops. Long stretch pass over to a streaking John Tavares, and he gets it. Snipe! Blocker side on John Gibson, and John Tavares wins the Battle of the Johns. Games like this make me feel silly for some of my recent negative rants. I can't back down from what I said because I was just saying how I felt. However, recently we've seen goals go in that a few games ago just weren't going in. Matthews with an open look in front, it goes in. Tavares, whatever he feels like calling himself, with a clean look, but it's just a simple wrister, goes in. For a while, it seemed like the Leafs had to reenact that McDonald's commercial with Gretzky and Sundin. Yeah, I'm gonna put it off the Zamboni, and then off the Jumbotron, and then it's gonna bank off the goalie's head and in, which, as best as I can tell, is what the power play tries to do every game. But these are the sort of goals that should be going in for a team with this much talent. They have skilled players who know how to create space and have an excellent shot and can have a higher shooting percentage than most of your players because they're better. And finally, 10 minutes later, Muzzin from the point puts it on. Patty almost gets it. Johnsson actually does. Roofs it over John Gibson. That's his 10th of the season, and the Leafs are up 2-0. Hey, remember at the beginning of the season? What'd I tell you? You're gonna remember Johnsson's second goal of the game because it was a wicked wrister. It was a nice shot. This goal right here, this greasy yet skillful backhand off of a rebound, that's Johnsson's MO. That's what it was in the minors. That's the kind of goal he scores. That's why he's on the power play. He's got a good shot from distance, but most of his goals are going to be scored so close you're going to be able to smell his breath. What is that? Citrus. Is mango citrus? I don't know. Keep going with the video. And now with the Leafs getting the lead, it gets a little chippy. Ducks have been playing a chippy game all night, which they're totally allowed to do. Couple subtle shots after the whistle, nothing too big. A lot of holding against the boards. Corey Perry, fresh off his stick work with Morgan Riley, and fresh off of an injury, he just got back, streaking down the wing into the Leaf zone, and Jake Muzzin, boom, lights him up full Griswold. It's actually kind of dangerous. He like grinds Perry along his own bench. Perry, both skates come off the ice. One plants and his knee bends the wrong way. That could be it for the season. And the Ducks, you know, they didn't like it. So there was a little bit of a brouhaha, and Getzlaf sort of gets in Muzzin's face. Like, Jake, you're not in the Pacific anymore. You don't have to. You know what? Go ahead. But very next shift, Nick Ritchie with a little cross check on Jake Muzzin. Go sit 2 minutes for you can't do that, Mr. Not William Nylander. There's 7 seconds left in the period. Andreas Johnsson with the face-off win. Back to Jake. This one Gardner. Over to Jake. This one Muzzin. And I gotta tell you, something's been missing from my videos. Like a staple that I haven't been able to use for some time. Like Randy Carlyle, I never really thought I would miss Tyler Bozak, but here we are. Until someone told me, better put on the gloves. Better put on the gloves? What are you talking about? Oh my goodness! Muzz Lightyear to the rescue! Jake Muzzin, his first goal as a Leaf, right after getting his first point as a Leaf with an assist on the previous goal, by the way, on a power play for a penalty that he drew because he made Randy Carlyle's team mad for hitting Corey Perry. It's like he smashed a piñata full of all my favorite things. Here's my question. Leave a comment down below. How many of you already own a Muzzin jersey? Because my birthday is coming up. It's actually Mrs. Dangle's birthday today. Happy birthday. Ooh, I know what to get her now. Man, I know it's so simple, but he clapped a bomb from the point. Old school, he clapped a crap bomb from the point. And it worked! Jake from Jake. Can I just say, I love that pairing. I love the Jakes. Because we might as well fast forward to it. In the third period, the Ducks score. Ricard Raquel, because of course, why does he wear 67? But the pairing on the ice, who gave him way too much room, Gardner with Zaitsev. Dude, I hate that pair so much. But to Babcock's credit, he changed it up on the power play, or maybe that's DJ Smith, I'm not sure. He's going with 2 defenders on the second power play, which is unpopular. It's always 4-1, it seems. But if you're gonna have 2 defenders under power play, you could do worse than the Jakes. Gardner to Muzzin worked twice, and Gardner actually got ripped off for an assist on the first Johnsson goal. Because he gave it to Muzzin, who put it on. I guess Patty Marleau got a piece of it, and then Johnsson scored. But this goal was just the same thing. Gardner to Muzzin for the blast and in. And this is what I love about the blast from the point. It's an option. It's just another thing. I realized during this game that when I say the Leafs need to shoot more from the point, really I'm referring to Morgan Rielly. Now, dude, I do not need to tell Morgan Rielly how to score points. He's quite good at that, thank you very much. But on the first power play unit, they have so many weapons, an embarrassment of weapons. You got Mitch doing the Mitch thing. You got Nas in front. He had an excellent game in this one. You got John Tavares in front, who's one of the best goal front presences in the entire league. And you got Austin Matthews just waiting there as another guy. But teams know they just need to cut off the pass. If Matthews and Marner can work to create space for Rielly at the point and he just bombs it, at least you're making the other team block a shot and creating the potential of a rebound. And if there is a rebound, you still got those vultures, those hyenas, Kadri and Tavares, waiting to pick at the carcass. You don't gotta do it all the time. You don't gotta do it all the time. But it's like when Mitch has the puck, teams know he's gonna do the Mitch thing at this point. He's gonna try to sauce a pass through. But he scored that one goal on Rast to snipe it short side just to make you think. The first power play unit has the personnel to be lethal. They just need to get a little bit more creative, which they can be because it's full of some of the most creative personnel this team has. I'm using the second unit to criticize the first. I don't know why. Jake Muzzin, hello, welcome to the Leafs. Ricard Raquel scored, we already know that. That's just 2:45 into the third and the Ducks are only down 2. That's doable. But 31 seconds later, Jake Muzzin, have I mentioned he's a Leaf? Gives it to Nylander, who just jets. Driving around and then driving the net. Connor Brown is with him. Brown draws the penalty, didn't need it. Willie over to Brown on the backhand, scored. Willie's 7th assist, Brown's 5th goal. Muzzin with yet another point on this one. That makes him a point-a-game player as a Toronto Maple Leaf. And the Leafs are up 4-1. You know, Carlisle's just on the bench like, if I was coach of the Leafs right now, we'd have a shot. That felt mean. That one felt mean. I'm sorry. Not long after, the Ducks have a chance, but the puck comes out of the zone. Zach Hyman with just kind of a lazy dish to Nylander as he's heading off the ice. Ping! He got one! William Nylander makes it 5-1 and Gibson's done. Like, done. He doesn't even go back to the bench. And then most of the Leafs are like, should we have mercy? Hyman passes it to Andreas Johnsson, who's like, sorry guys, it's a contract here. Another snipe on Chad Johnson, just stop. Why are you trying to get Randy fired in Toronto? What did he ever do? You weren't even on the Leafs at the time. And the Leafs win by a final score of holy to moly. I'm not a big fan of plus minus, but Ron Hainsey and Travis Dermott were +4. Everyone's ice time on D was almost identical. Muzzin actually played the least, but he still played over 18 minutes. I wouldn't read into that too much. It was a blowout. Babcock just sort of spreading the love. Still on the plus minus thing, there were actually 2 minus players. Zaitsev was a -1, and Mitch Marner was a -1. How? But how could Marner possibly be a minus on the night? Did you see before the game a kid had a sign, hey Mitch, I beat cancer, and Mitch gave him a stick? Good boy, Mitch, you're a very good boy. And I saw a bunch of people like, that's captain material right there, and I'm like, can we just enjoy the game? Unsung hero from the game, I sort of addressed it before, but Freddie Anderson actually making a few huge saves in this one. That was the Carlisle style I'd become accustomed to, just sort of sit back and hope for the best. Opportunistic, but by gum, it actually worked sometimes. But maybe crazier with the Gauthier chance, and I think Tavares, or maybe it was Kadri, had a chance too. It could have been even worse. The final shots on goal, 44-25 for the Leafs. They had 19 shots in the second period alone. And I don't need to bring this up every game, but this is the perfect opportunity. The Ducks out-hit the Leafs 36-11. They also out-blocked the Leafs 20 block shots to 11 block shots. Now, if you don't have the puck, hit the other guy, for sure. If you don't have the puck, block a shot, for sure. No one's saying those are bad things to do. They're bad things to have to do. If you're consistently out-hitting and out-blocking opponents, it might be a symptom of you having the puck less than them. Questions. How do you pick questions? You've already gotten 100 in 8 minutes. Sometimes I'll just look at the questions at the top, but I'll realize I've sort of talked about this. Sometimes I'll just look at the questions at the top, which is bad. This person's been in like 3 straight videos. Like, to avoid that, sometimes I'll just scroll blindly. Often I'll look for questions that are getting asked a lot, or maybe it won't be questions that are repeated, it'll be the most liked questions. But also, I just look for good ones. I just look for questions that make me go, huh, that's a good question. Which is what you had right there, sir. Oh, this is from a Kings fan. Do you guys love Jake Muzzin like we hope you do? Also, is there Eastern bias in people finally realizing he's a really good defenseman? It's weird. There's probably a little bit of bias. Because he's always been this analytical darling, and obviously we saw him at the World Cup, but I don't think we knew he was this good. Like, it's funny. I knew he had a shot. I knew his numbers were good, but then they start showing highlights, and I'm like, oh, he hits? And then he smashes Gensel, smashes Perry. That guy's a monster. Trust me, I'm pretty sure fans already love him. Can we relax and have fun yet? Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I get worked up. I get worked up sometimes. I just love my Leafs, okay? I wrote about that in my book! This is it, by the way. This team is ruining my life, but I love them. This is the book. What I've been holding up in previous videos is the advanced copy. This is it. This is actually it. This is the book that will be in stores. This team is ruining my life. This is my book! I've been working on this for about 2 years, and I'm holding it in my hands. This is my book, man. Yesterday, I had a bunch of copies delivered. I tweeted that it was 125 copies. It's actually 147, which is weird. Quickly to answer a few FAQs. The book's release date is March 19th. If you've pre-ordered the book, it should arrive, I think, on that date or maybe a couple days after. It depends on who it's getting shipped with. There are several different kinds of ebook that are available for pre-order as well. The audiobook is not available for pre-order just yet. I don't know if you can pre-order audiobooks, but anyway, it's not available yet, but it is scheduled to be on sale on the same day, March 19th. Now, where can you buy it? It's obviously available online, Indigo Chapters, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Booktopia, Amazon.ca.com and .uk. But what stores, what actual stores will you be able to buy it from? Great question. This is why I'm going through all the boring stuff. Okay, so we've printed 5,000 copies of the book. That's how many exist right now. We can obviously reprint and get more. I hope we have to reprint and get more. That'd be amazing. But really, I'm an unknown. I've never written a book before, so stores just don't know. So some of them have ordered like a few copies. I know it's in McNally Robinson in Winnipeg and Saskatoon. Fanfare Books in Stratford, Ontario. Finchers in Goderich, Ontario. Paragraph Bookstore in Montreal. The Bookkeeper in Sarnia. It's going to be available at a bunch of indie bookstores in Toronto. I just don't know which ones. It's going to be available at a bunch of Walmarts. I just don't know which ones. And it's going to be available at a big old bunch of Chapters Indigos around Canada. I just don't know which ones yet. I know that the Oshawa one, the one at the Oshawa Mall, has ordered a few. So here's what's helpful to make sure you're actually able to get it at a store near you. Literally, call your local bookstore and ask the manager to order it. Call them on the phone, send an email, whatever. Because if you tell them to stock it, they'll be like, I guess I should stock it. So if you did that, that'd be awesome. And as for the copies that I already have, I can't sell them just yet on account of the book's not technically out yet. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Quack, quack, quack. Yo.